Ward Lucas's career in broadcasting may never have happened without an act of Congress.
My father was stationed after the war in Japan. He was the military governor of Honshu Province, Shiga Prefecture. And I was born in 1948, fully a Japanese citizen and fully a U.S. citizen. And because I had dual citizenship, when I wanted to apply for an FCC license at age 16, even the little lowly third radio telephone license, I was told, no way. But my mother had gotten a certain congressman elected to Congress, Bill Stinson. And sure enough, by an act of Congress, I was able to declare U.S. citizenship and drop the Japanese citizenship.
Blessed with an unusually deep voice for his age, a Seattle radio station hired him. He survived a nosebleed during his first air shift and was soon poached by a rival station whose owner didn't realize he was just 16 years old.
I was the Rush Limbaugh of Seattle. I was dumber than dirt. I knew nothing about politics. And he said, just pick up the phone and talk to somebody. And suddenly I realized I'm on the air. The boss had thrown the mic, and I was answering telephone calls on the air.
After graduating college, he found himself at KIRO TV in Seattle, where a story about professional arsonists led to an unexpected honor and eventually Denver.
In Seattle, the boss had said, what's investigative reporting? I said, I don't know. And he said, well, you're going to do it. So I had to learn what investigative reporting was. I did not know what an Emmy was. I had no idea what an Emmy was. Because I had an Emmy, I get this call from Denver from Carl Akers. Al Flanagan was the general manager, and he said, we need an investigative reporter. Help me figure out what one is, and I'll be it. So I was basically told, you come up with your own stories.
Ward Lucas eventually developed a philosophy that enabled him to become Denver's premier television investigative reporter.
And I learned to knock on every single possible door, and I think that's the key to investigative reporting. You knock on one more door than a regular reporter does.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Ward Lucas. Wesley Bissett suddenly realized we were going to be doing a story on his operation, and he confronted us on the highway in front of his kennel.
Very good form.
Well, one thing you learn as a night team reporter is running backwards.
I mean, we made our living off liars. Well, that's the whole point of investigative reporting, is figure out who's lying to you. You call the wrong guy a liar, you get sued.
Many of his investigations came from extensive contacts with law enforcement.
The professed hitmen claimed to be completely innocent.
I haven't done anything.
I got in very close with the Denver Police Department. I got in close with Colorado Bureau of Investigation. You want to know that you're accurate, you want to know that you're thorough, you want to know that you're fair, and you want to know that you're balanced. They knew that they could trust me to keep a secret, they could trust me to be honest, they could trust me to burn somebody if that person needed to be burned.
He even took on fabricated reporting in the Denver Post.
They had hired an unethical, dishonest reporter. He was involved in some very, what I felt was phony reporting on the organized crime strike force. Information that had been leaked to me from the very top levels of the Denver Post and the Rocky Mountain News about the distortions that were going on. The Post hated me with a passion. Cocaine investigation into Denver penny stock market. And here was the Denver Post doing these exposés, which I couldn't confirm with anyone. Well, I got to 10 o'clock and I said, no such information, no confirmation, fake news. I invented that term. Donald stole it from me. The bugging documentary won every award in the book. Spent 4 years collecting illegal bugging devices sold on the street. We spent years interviewing wiretappers around the country.
We swept the boss's office, and we finally found the electronic bug hidden above a ceiling tile.
His reports uncovered scams,
The greatest thrill we have is comparing how much money we stole from the people.
criminal activities,
We followed an independent tow truck driver into a part of Denver claimed by a rival company.
I said your life expectancy might not be too good if you run up here.
public corruption,
We were investigating an Aurora city official in 1978 when a police officer decided we shouldn't be taking pictures.
and medical quackery.
The surgeon purportedly makes an incision on the patient's body with his thumbnail, reaches into the cavity, and removes ugly cancerous material.
He pursued lighthearted stories,
She's trying with all of her might to hatch a nest full of Titleists, top flights, and ultras.
Now, I wouldn't have believed this if I hadn't seen it myself. There, ladies and gentlemen, is one that hatched.
and stories very personal to him.
Alzheimer's. Such a strange disease when it strikes your father. The strongest man in the world, impossibly weak.
In his 34 years at Channel 9, he also anchored weekends with 32 different female co-anchors.
What was it like working for Channel 9? It was magic. It was like working at the Disneyland of the TV news business. In television, there are a whole lot of technical people around a reporter that make him look good. Those are the people that make the reporter. Going to work was a privilege, was a joy. I didn't hate it, I loved it.
The Broadcast Pioneers of Colorado are proud to welcome Ward Lucas to the Broadcast Pioneers Hall of Fame.